I'm familiar with an institution called IT. And when I speak to the brothers, they seem very sincere in what they're doing, they're just trying to, for example, like I don't agree with them 100%, but they do say stuff like, I recall them saying, what if we just take the best of every group, Like for example, the Salafis, we try to follow the Sunnah, and we try to unite people, What do you say about that? Why should we not follow this group called
When we finish up the lesson, the Sufi who are trying to get people to
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Wallahi, to be honest, the brother who established I3, he's a former member of Hizb ut-Tahrir. Yeah, he was with them for a long time, and actually, I'll be frank with you, I've been in touch with him lately. We've talked a little bit on the phone, I'm not going to lie. And he spoke to me about some issues going on with them and the MSAs in Canada, and there's an open letter, and there's all kinds of things taking place, unfortunately. But I am familiar with the brother's proposal to take two good things from every group and put them together into one. But the da'wah of I3 is still Khilafah-centric. From what they believe it to be and how they perceive it. And their aqidah, as admitted by the brother who established I3, is primarily Ash'ari. Yeah, and if you watch, there's an interview online with, I think they're called the three Muslim brothers or something, I can't remember their name. The brother did an interview with them. I mean, I listened to the whole thing and they say, the brothers, they say they're not a political group. That's what he said. I'm going by what he said, al-akh yani. And they're just trying to teach Islam in a comprehensive way. But again, to be honest, if your foundation is not the proper aqidah, there's a problem with that. Because the aqidah is where the da'wah starts. The Prophet ﷺ, he called it tawheed in the beginning. For the first 13 years, this was his focus, the aqidah, the belief. So if your aqidah is not, if you're not trying to follow the aqidah that the prophets came with or striving for that, I personally would not feel very, very comfortable in following a group like that. Allahu alam. I don't want to say more than what I know, but this book of mine is available outside. We have it available for lower than the Amazon price. I always encourage brothers and sisters to get away from arguing, debating, the online wars and the da'wah boxing matches. There's no benefit in that. That people need to just learn how to just sit down and quietly read and learn for themselves and decide. Wallahi, that's my advice, to be honest with you. The book is available. I have it lower than the Amazon price. The money I used to get it is money that was donated by people. I used the same money to buy the books, and whatever profit is made, I put them back in so that we publish other books. And my second book, alhamdulillah, is coming out real soon. It's about riba and Islamic banking and usury and stuff like that. So inshallah, there's more work to be done. Barakallah fiqh. I hope I answered your question.
Just want to, if you don't mind, I don't know I3, so I'm not going to talk about what I don't know about, so I'm leaving that, mashallah, to the brothers here. We don't have I3 in the US, not that I know of, right? We have iPhone. But just this point of let's take the good from every group kind of a mentality, which has become like very popular, like as if we're making a soup or something, Salafi is not like a political organization. Ikhwan is a political organization. You have a card-carrying member. You have, right? Salafīyyah is not. Right? So these aren't two groups to take from kind of. Salafīyyah is an ideology, right? It's a methodology. It's a manhaj, right? What is the manhaj? That look, instead of trying to prefer what the Khalaf, what the later people brought, whether it's issues of ilm al-kalam or falsafa, or whether it has to do with aql al-naql like the Mu'tazila or Jahmiyyah. Instead of that, we go back to the Salaf, to the Sahaba, to the Tabi'un, to the Taba Tabi'un. Salafi is not a madhab in fiqh. Right? There's no Salafi fiqh mutun. Right? You could be Hanafi, you could be Shafi'i, you could be Hanbali, you could be Maliki, you could be Dairi, you could be following Shawkani, whatever. If the methodology that you're taking is that the way of the Sahaba, how they understood Aqidah, the way of the Imma, Abu Hanifa and Malik and Shafi'i and Ahmad, if this is the best way, this first 3 generations, the ones that are praised in the Quran, the ones that are praised in the Sunnah, are the best role model for us, that's the Salafi. You don't have to follow my Shaykh. I love Shaykh Kareem, but I love Shaykh Ibrahim as well. I love all the Shuyukh here. Maybe you don't have, maybe Shaykh Kareem cut you off on the freeway one day, right? And you don't like him. And may Allah forgive you for it. But I'm saying, that doesn't mean you're no longer Salafi, right? So when you talk about taking from the Sufis, well, what does that mean? That's a very broad spectrum, Sufi, right? But the idea there is, if you're talking about zuhud, if you're talking about tazkiyah, then that's Salafīyyah. Weren't the greatest of the people of zuhud the Sahaba and the A'imma and the great ulama, the likes of Imam Ahmad and Bukhari, right? But if you're talking about Naqshbandi tariqa and Qadri tariqa and Chishti tariqa and this tariqa, then I ask you, did the Sahaba have these? Which tariqa did Abu Hanifa follow? Or Shafi'i, or Malik, or Ahmad, or Abu Bakr, or Umar, or Uthman? So I would say that in Zuhud, we have the Quran, we have Ahadith, we have great A'imma and Ulama like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn al-Qayyim, who gathered from those authentic sources, wrote amazing books like Jawab al-Kafi and so on. We have nothing against that. But if you start saying that after Salah we're going to do backflips, then I'm going to have to ask you, where is that in the Quran? Where is that in the Hadith? And that's not an exaggeration. Go YouTube it. Right? Just like that, when you talk about a political organization like Ikhwan bringing unity, well, I mean, I'm not from Egypt, so maybe I shouldn't speak, but you can look at history of political power grabs, and that's not really bringing unity, is it now, right? This is a political movement. If you're not a card-carrying Ikhwani, then you're not the same to them as one that is. Well, I don't really care what cards you carry, right? If your aqidah is to follow Sahaba, me and you are brothers. We're Salafis here, you know. We're not doing it to praise ourselves. We're saying this is the methodology that we feel to be the best.